Hello, folks. Time for the 3.8 live stream, at least in 30 minutes from now. I think this is the most interesting live stream so far. I would have said this about 3.7's live stream because of Cyrene, but this one is a lot more interesting because there's actually real life stakes in this thing. Not only are we supposed to get a preview of a Japanese-inspired planet, but we're also gonna talk about probably the driest patch in HSR history. I have no idea what they're gonna announce. Because the thing is, right, it would be obvious if they made an Edo Star, quote-unquote, Banzai Tengoku is actually the... Benzai Tengoku, sorry. Benzai Tengoku is actually the proper name. It would make a lot of sense if they do it here, like a preview trailer like they did with Amphorius. But I have no idea if they're gonna do it at all. Because I feel like if there was, the leakers wouldn't have shut up about it and posted some screenshots about right about now. There was also some leak on the anime community. Apparently some well-known leaker in the anime community said that there was supposed to be an HSR anime announcement on this live stream, but it depends on... but they might not announce it because of the tensions. Which is... I mean, if somebody from outside of the HSR community is saying this, at this point, I don't know if it's even gonna, like... It would be one thing if it was only an HSR leaker, but if some anime leaker is also jumping in on that theory, I don't know what to think of anymore. Whatever it is, though, it's gonna be... I mean, worst case scenario, nothing gets announced. And we sort of just accept that whatever's gonna happen is might not be announced for now. I don't know. By the way, I have a plate of food right now, beside me because I haven't had dinner yet, so I'm sorry if you hear me like eating. Maybe I should make an ASMR eating stream actually. That would probably be some subscribers joining in for that. Let me do it right now. This is ASMR of me eating rice with spam and ketchup. Wow, I'm a quiet eater. That didn't even register on the mic. It's a crispy spam, by the way. So I don't. The fact that it didn't get picked up by the mic. Wow. You guys can't hear me, can you? Wow, I really eat quietly. I didn't even. I guess I never thought about it. I don't really make a lot of noise when I'm eating, even when I'm even like doing an exaggerated chomp, like I'm clashing my teeth together, but nothing's coming out. You can hear the plate, right? You can hear the plate? Yeah. I am eating something crunchy. It's crispy spam. Are we ready for the Firefly buff announcement? I don't know, man. Hopefully. By the way, every leaker has no idea when 4.x beta is coming, so who fucking knows at this point, man? Even if they announce a Firefly buff, is beta even gonna be open for us to test that? Or for us to get leaks of it? I don't think so. Maybe you can hear me drinking water. Um Wow, I should not have done that. Okay. I tried to exaggerate drinking water, but I almost choked, so I'm not gonna do that anymore. Holy shit. Okay. That was stupid. Never doing that again. No. No, Jesus. Well, I'm finished eating now, so there's nothing for me to record. I could cook some spam, but it would take like 20 minutes. And I also probably won't be here, so I can watch over the cooking process because I cook spam in a pan because I'm a good old boy, not a microwave or oven or whatever you guys want to do. Anyway, I'm gonna be getting some water because all that spam eating has made me a bit more thirsty than I thought, and I stream upstairs instead of downstairs. So anyway, I'll be back in 2 minutes. Yeah, sure, why not? Hi, watashi wa Madoru. Hello, I'm back. Okay, so there's 14 minutes. I should swap here. Let me. There we go. Did we make like a tier list or something while we're waiting? Um, I can't believe so many people got mad about this. I said it 100 times. This is based on my subjective experience. Why are people so mad anyway? What do we do? Let's see. How about some currency wars tier list? Okay. Um, yeah. Uh, PT. His strongest application is being a Finon bot for Finon runs. Finon Durian clears, I mean. But otherwise, he's pretty okay. I guess I'll put him at B. Just average. Evernight. Evernight's pretty good. The only problem is I don't think she has very broken interactions that would make me... Like, at least PT has the Finon Durian thing, but with Evernight, I don't think she really has something like that that would be at the same level. I think it's... I also know that her trial build is like dog shit, so... Um, she might be here. I mean, her damage is really high, though. And she's a back row character that can be used as front row, so... Not like she's useless, I just don't think she has that many broken applications compared to everyone else. Chiridra does, though. She's more specific than PT, but in her specific niche, she's almost irreplaceable, so I think she deserves to be here. High Sealants. I really don't like how late you get High Sealants. Like, as a 4-star, she's really good for DOT, but I really hate that she takes that long to get, but not like she's weak. I also know her trial build is, like, also ass. Okay, so... With my Asia account, which has E1 High Sealants, I feel like High Sealants is one of the best characters. But with my other accounts that I need to use trial version of, she doesn't feel very good. It's probably because DOT is so easy to die to that I don't think she's... Well, it depends on the investment environment, I guess. If you get the DOT investment environment, it's almost a guaranteed win. Almost, but... Yeah. I don't think she... I also don't think she matches Ceredra in terms of how strong her teams are. I don't know. I think it's fine to put her at B. Archer. I really wish Archer was... I think his ability is really funny, but... If you if there's an investment environment that you would get Archer earlier, like with DOT with Black Swan, I think he'd be here. Because in early game you don't have a lot of items. But once you reach late game, you already have a lot of items where Archer's abilities isn't that bad, isn't that good. Like you would still fail a run even if you get Archer, so I don't think he's an instant win like Cyrene is. But he's not bad either. I wish there was a way to get him early. Saber. I feel like the most times I've used Saber is as an Agvaya energy bond filler. But as a main carry, she also does really well. It's just that she's overshadowed by Agvaya. Which is a crazy ass reason to be overlooked. You know, like if every strategy is overlooked by Aglaya technically, so I guess it's not Saber's fault really. I don't remember her trial build. I feel like I use her less than Evernights too, so I think she has really broken interactions but I guess the problem is that Aglaya also has those broken interactions and just does it much better. I mean, sure, I think I'm fine with her being here. I don't know. Maybe I'll bump her down C. Cypher. 90% of Currency Wars runs is on auto, and Cypher feels terrible in auto. She's really good because of the Night Demigod and for early game, because she's a 1-star character and she has Night Demigod, and Night Demigod is really busted for early game. And she has very good bonds in follow-up attack and debuff and Night Demigod, so like those 3 bonds are really good. So more often than not you'll run into Cypher for your team and she's pretty okay. I just don't like that the auto plays her like she's lobotomized. So I don't know. Should I be less generous? I don't know. I really like her bond versatility, I just don't like her autoplay at all. Did I even consider autoplay as a factor? If I was, then Archer would be really low. But I don't know. Early game, you're more likely to auto than late game. 5 minutes left. Fine on. He scales really well with Eidolons. I think if you just bring him at a trial E0 S0, he's like here. But if you have Eidolons, he's almost like an instant win for here. Cactus Lana is just really good, but it has a couple of weaknesses, right? Like if you're fighting a Trotter, you're not doing any damage unless you're E2. And yeah. I think if you take him at trial, he's just okay, but with more Eidolons, he can almost be here. I think I'll compromise and put him here. Hyacine. 2-star, Blood Flame, Day Demigod. Very important for the Aglaya strategy. She's a sustain, and she shows up pretty early. Yeah, I think she also isn't lobotomized like Cypher. I think that's pretty good. Yeah. Noxa. Noxa's pretty good. Just the fact that he can implant weaknesses is pretty awesome. Especially for some fights. As a main carry, I found him more fun, but he's also Day Demigods, which is again, an Noxa, you can use Aglaya with, and in general, it's just a very good bond for getting items in early game. So, yeah, why not? I think she deserves this. His only, like, real weakness is showing up maybe a little too late. You kind of have to get lucky to get an Oxa on the first plane. But it's not like he stops being useful in plane 2 and stuff. Next, Castorus. Okay, so I'm just gonna rip off the band-aid here. Castorus may be a fraud. The one-time revive really doesn't help because sometimes there's the debuff that freezes you, so it doesn't matter. And for some reason, I don't know why this is, but when I use Trial Castorus and Trial Mighty, Mighty always does more damage. I have no idea why that is. I'm not even like focusing Ceredra on it, like I'm using what is supposedly main DPS Castorus with Mighty, and for some reason Mighty just does more damage. What is wrong with her? Is it just because of the trial build where because Mighty has less build requirement because of how high his stats are, he doesn't need a good build? Meanwhile, Castorus is really shit out of luck if your build is bad. That may be it. So like, I don't know, maybe it's just the fact that I don't own Castorus, where she feels really terrible. I don't know. I feel like she's on the same tier as Evernight, probably worse because you can't even put in the back row. As for Mighty, he's actually pretty okay. I think he's better than Castorus, like I said. You also get him earlier, which is nice. And he can also be a back row character, which is great. You can use him as a way to fuel Castorus too, because he drains his own HP in the back row, but I don't know, it's just main DPS Mighty feels so much better for no reason whatsoever. Sorry, I'm calling someone. Is the stream starting? Oh, almost there. Refreshing. Oh god. Okay. Yeah, I mean Mighty is pretty good. There's also a cheese strat involving solo Mighty in the front line. Haven't tried that yet. So he might go up in A, depending on how good it is, but for me I think he's a pretty solid B. Pretty solid. Next is Tribi. Tribi's really good. Day Demigod, AoE attack. She's practically needed for those AoE attacks, and she's a back row character. Yeah, I think she's pretty good. Is she on the same level as Ceredra? I don't think Tribi has a particular, like, cheese strat that Ceredra has. Like, Ceredra has Qingque, Finon, and yeah, those are pretty strong cheese strategies, but I don't know if Tribi has those teams. Like, she's just a solid character. but it's not like she's breaking the game with any of her teams. So I think she might be in B. You also get her pretty early, which is nice. Aglaya. Okay. Herta. I think Herta's the same case as Tribi. I do like Cosmic Scholar, but Big Herta shows up a little too late for that, but I don't think Herta doesn't really have a cheese strategy, right? And she's also hindered by matchups. So depending on I think it's similar to Tribi, but a lot less versatile. I might actually knock her down. She just has really strong synergies with items, like the what is it called? Wheels, the one that gives you an instant ultimate after 3 ults, something like that. I think she has really good synergy with those items, but otherwise she has like really bad matchup problems. She's a DPS, so she's not really that flexible. She shows up a little too late to be that important for Scholar, but she's not bad. Just I don't think she has like cheat strategies either. Sunday. Sunday's pretty good. Just the energy bond is awesome. Sorry. I do feel like he scales worse later on with some characters. Like with Aglaya. If you're trying to use like Aglaya wheelchair, Sunday doesn't give enough turns for him to be that big of a difference. Oh? Oh shit. Hold on. Okay, the stream is starting. I'll get back to this. Are the audio levels okay, chat? You should hear me better than the live stream, because why are you here if you're not listening to my very amazing words? Let me speed it up. This is a life hack to let you catch up on the stream. I'm so excited. I'm so excited! Have you seen that clip of Fat Bruce? And he says like 6'7". I'm such a fat fucking chud. That shit was so funny. The music is quite low, so I can't quite tell. It seems high for me in the levels right now. Okay. $15, $14, $13, $12, $11. If my internet cuts off, I'm gonna kill myself. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my god, it's an IPC sponsor. We're fucked. No more Lady Aglaya.
Can you still remember where this journey began? Penacony, the land of the dreams. Someone might have made you forget some critically important information.
Oh my god, she's blooming.
The memory of Penacony is incomplete. A part of it has already been stolen. We could be watched if we met anywhere else. This is the only place where I can feel safe sharing secrets that should stay between us. The flame flickers ever stronger. This time, we're going
Holy
to dig
physics.
deeper.
Science is beautiful.
Let us now go back to where it all began. Think of that girl who can neither enter dreams nor wished to wake.
I should enhance the quality.
Why
Later.
did she slumber with you? It was a wish.
Oh my god, Sam versus Sam.
that set you in motion. And in the
Was that
tale,
Enna?
you
That was
are the
Enna.
protagonist.
The order.
Stars themselves will defy
There she
the
is.
destiny of finality. Can I take your arm and awaken your memories?
Why does this actually look good?
Even after paying such a heavy price, we only get one shot at
Why is Acheron here?
If embracing fate is also a form of resistance, then
Are we sure this is a filler patch?
I shall embrace death.
Wow! Holy shit! That is a crazy art. I'm saving that. Hold on. I need a wallpaper of that. Holy. Why are they breathing? They have a life of their own. What is that? Is that Elio? God damn it. Every black cat is now Elio. That's a Star Rail brain rot. I'm not surprised if it's Elio. I mean, it's Firefly focused, it seems.
And whether or not your world has a day-night cycle, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the version 3.
I think he's a little too quiet, right?
Memories are the prelude to dreams special program. I'm your favorite streamer, Albert.
Long time no see, friends. I'm Robin. A pleasure to meet you all again. I'm Firefly.
I'm Constance. You may also call me the Dahlia.
Welcome, guests. Being together with you really reminds me
Good
of the
God.
time I spent producing this show in Petticoat. And in this version, we too shall once again return to Petticoat, the land of the dreams.
I love this
The
music.
bustling avenue of sweet dreams, Glocky and his friends, the Chocolate Festival. Oh, it all seems like it was just yesterday.
Dun-dun-dun.
But I can already feel that there's something completely different in today's show. Unlike before, it's eerie. And full of mystery.
Eerie.
You're right. We've just seen a ton of images in that version trailer.
Yeah, including this one. Holy yeah.
Totally. For example, there seems to be a lot more to Miss Firefly's trip to Penacony than what we already know.
The Dream Master, who hid behind the scenes and only ever showed himself using a raven, also seems to have some profoundly dark secrets.
There's something else I'm very interested in. That Black Glamoth's Iron Cavalry Knight in the trailer? What's that about?
Weird.
What's that about?
Don't remember seeing any of this in Petticoat. Was it so long ago that I'm starting to forget what happened?
Maybe your memories are indeed having problems. In truth,
Yeah,
the Trailblazers' memories were incomplete despite being the heart of this storm. Some of their memories' most important parts have already been stolen.
What? How?
Don't worry. I'm here to help the Trailblazer regain these memories.
really?
Awesome. With the Dahlia here,
I feel like I
everything
don't
will be
trust her.
all right.
Oh? Do you two know each other?
Yeah, the Dahlia is super reliable. We wouldn't have been able to complete some missions without her.
Under the guidance of
What?
my abilities, the Trailblazer will piece together a more complete timeline for the Penacony story.
Elio has Constance on
Telling
payroll?
memories.
Now that I think about it,
What the fuck is he
there are
doing?
indeed some loose threads that were never tied up in Penacony's story. And then my gathered guess, come, let us unravel this.
Elio is
thread
just hiring
by
everyone.
thread.
What the fuck?
Firstly, the story started with
The Astral Express receiving an invitation to join Penacony's Charmony Festival.
afterward. The crew's mission was
To find the legacy of the Watchmaker, father of Penacony, then answer the question of why does life slumber?
after some fun time. The vibe of the story took a nosedive because of,
The deaths of Firefly and Robin.
indeed. But
Oh.
back, did we miss anything? For example, who killed Robin?
Back then, Sunday had believed that Gallagher was the culprit.
Wait, god damn it. What?
Since
Oh,
Gallagher
okay.
was the one who instructed Sleepy to cause multiple disappearances in the Sweet Dream.
But I must also remind everyone that Gallagher never admitted responsibility.
Dude,
Could it have been?
okay, so they're just rewriting the story that was already...
It was actually thanks to such misfortune I managed to reach Dreamflex Reef and uncover deep.
I guess it's not a rewrite, it's
The goal
filling out a plot hole, but...
of that hidden operator is truly elusive.
Okay, so they're filling up plot holes, I guess.
Let's move along with the story for now. As we continue to investigate Penacony, we learn the truth. The ones behind all the chaos weren't the family at all, but the surviving members of the Order.
That's right. My brother and Mr. Gopherwood,
Gopherwood,
that is the
not
Dream
again.
Master, tried to drag Penacony into Enna's dream to manifest an eternal paradise.
To think that the bright visions of a 7-day holiday crumbled to dust! It truly breaks my heart.
As for the Dream Master of Penacony, I heard that his body was destroyed in an accident, and he could only continue his existence in the Sweet Dream.
It's been so long since he put himself in the limelight like this. It's quite unusual. What kind of secrets will this end up exposing?
It seems that Enna's dream wasn't as simple as it seemed, and the Dream Master's machinations in the dreamscape were more deliberate than we thought.
Oh, it's not... Okay, it's not just a...
Everyone still
Plot hole
worked together
filling,
to
it is
shatter
just
the
a
hearts of
rewrite.
The Order worshippers. And in the end, we got our happy ending. Right?
Well, at least for a certain person.
Some of the details are a lie, so we're
was
just gonna
a
make
little
up stuff
different.
where this is actually what happened, guys.
I've been meaning to ask for a while. Miss Firefly was all curled up in a medical cabin in the Myriad Celestia video released earlier. It feels like her entropy loss syndrome was getting worse.
Yeah, and Silverwolf even said the rest is up to her now. It's not looking good. What exactly are we missing here?
Let's take a step back. Firefly once told us that Elio's script said she would face 3 deaths in Penacony. Later on, Firefly walked toward her own battlefield after
Oh.
sending the Trailblazer off to the final stage, only to reappear before us on the Radiant Feldspar without a scratch. But we know nothing about what happened between these 2 events.
If everything is as we remembered, then why is Miss Firefly having such a crisis after leaving Penacony?
Also, what exactly did the 3 deaths in the prophecy mean?
The Trailblazer really doesn't have to know about
Bruh.
this.
The meaning of truth is never about knowing the truth itself. It's about what people gain in their pursuit of the truth, and how they'll face the truth. Isn't that right? In version 3.8, I'll be joining the Trailblazers.
Well, those
to
fan theories
experience
got
the
thrown off
story
the
through
window.
Firefly's eyes. How she initially entered the dreamscape, how she met us during the story, and what
Because
life
apparently,
that
no,
she
that
must
wasn't the
face.
deaths. That was just...
All these questions will be answered
It
one
actually,
by one.
That's right. Firefly's exploration of the dreamscape was also far deeper than what we remembered. As we follow her footsteps, the family seat of power, the dream of gnawing oak, will also surface from memories. It was once part of the Dewlight Pavilion, but has long since been abandoned and sunk into the unknown depths of the primordial
This just looks
memory
like-
zone. The oak
what was it called, the
trees grown
Grove?
Wild, and the derelict buildings combined to paint a rather oppressive scene.
Oh, this is
Really,
Gopherwood,
I
isn't
have
it?
never seen this place. Did Mr. Gopherwood bury his secrets
God damn
here?
it.
It does look very different from the solemn and dignified Dewlight Pavilion we know.
Mm-hmm. Venturing deeper will show us a giant cocoon floating before the stately stained glass windows.
A cocoon? Could this place have something to do with the propagation?
Oh
It's
no.
definitely possible. We know that Firefly used to belong to the Glamoth Iron Cavalry before joining the Stellaron Hunters. They were weapons produced by the Republic of Glamoth to fight against the propagation swarm. Soldiers with similar faces woke up in their incubators, and their short lives would be entirely spent fighting the swarm.
Why does it feel like a reskin? It's
tragic
because it
destiny.
is.
Firefly will face her past in this dream.
This is the Grove, but
Encounter
recolored.
an old friend, the other Glamoth Iron Cavalry Knight in the trailer. Harbinger of Death, Swarm Nightmare.
That's odd. The Glamoth cavalry disappeared with the swarm's end, never to be heard from again. Where did this warrior come from? And why did they appear in Penacony, a place far from the front lines?
And from the looks of it, this fighter doesn't seem to be a friend.
And without further ado, allow Albert to provide you with more intel about them. As a fellow Glamoth Iron Cavalry Knight, Harbinger of Death,
I like his
Swarm
pants.
Nightmare fights in the same way as Sam. They ignite the battlefield and sweep up enemies in a fight.
Yes, this is
The
all
Iron
of Sam's
Cavalry's gear is
animations,
indeed
no
very
change at all.
interchangeable, including the weapons mounted
Yep,
onto our armor.
exactly just Sam's other animations, there's no difference.
Duplication, this Iron Cavalry can summon Juvenile Sting.
The swarm?
Juvenile Sting has many functions.
Ah, I love you,
It
reskin
coordinates
Star
with the
Rail.
Iron Cavalry Knight and launching follow-up attacks, and also charges them. Once the Iron Cavalry Knight finishes charging,
What the fuck, man? This is
action,
so
use
fucked
the
up.
powerful ability,
Oh, did-
Primordial Tides,
It's
throw up
it really is just the same.
Sounds like we need to prioritize.
Okay, I guess
eliminating
that's
Juvenile
cool.
Sting to
There's-
come out on top against
there's
this
wings.
foe.
That's true, but it's also easier said than done. After the Iron Cavalry Knight summons Juvenile
Okay,
Sting,
that's new.
they will apply
That's
the
nice.
rapid evolution state to the Sting.
Okay, so
Allied
there's two
characters
new
do
animations,
not
I
deal
guess.
crit damage when attacking targets that are under the rapid evolution state.
Oh my god,
What
it's
should we
Slingshot.
do?
Hello,
It'll be
Queen.
much more difficult to defeat.
Oh my god, it's
Juvenile
Ranmei. Hello,
Sting in
Queen.
this case.
Not to worry, we've got ways to fight back. When the Iron Cavalry Knight summons Juvenile Sting,
Bro,
they
using
can
Firefly
select one
with a
character
sustain? What the
and their
fuck is...
summons to immediately take action.
This
and
better be
enter the
E2
Nemesis
Firefly
state.
or some shit.
Any characters and their summons in the Nemesis state can ignore the enemy's rapid evolution state.
Okay.
Please save the state for me whenever possible.
In other words, we need to get the most out of the Nemesis state and quickly get rid of all juvenile stings.
Alright.
Right? When all summoned
Sounds pretty
juvenile
easy.
stings are eliminated, the Iron Cavalry Knight will dispel gene replication and take more damage.
Oh, he just
This
insta-breaks.
chance to
That's
dish
funny.
out some heavy damage.
Thank you for this intel, Mr. Owlbert. As for why the dream of Gnawing Oak looks so dilapidated and what my past comrade has to do with this dreamscape,
All that will be revealed as the Trailblazers' memories return.
What's more, it'll also reveal the meaning behind the Trailblazers' recovery of this memory. Perhaps it'll interfere with the path of Finality's direction. Or perhaps it'll help you say a better farewell to a friend.
Oh, don't do this to me.
So Elio has
I don't
employed
say farewell to anyone.
Kafka, Blade, Silver Wolf, Firefly,
All right.
and
Then we'll
Constance,
take a break.
and
we'll be
also
back before you
Sparkle.
know it.
Why? I really want to know what is Elio's logic with doing all of this. Bro is hiring anyone to do his shit. Hey, I see that black cat. I know what you are. This isn't just a big witch hat lady that has a black cat. I know what that black cat means. I can't stop looking at Constance for some reason. Please get that chicken leg out of my screen.
Constance the Dahlia.
Okay, good.
Duke Inferno's child of greatest ambition.
Christina V.
A conflagration that burned the Everflame mansion to cinders.
I haven't
made her miss
heard
out
that
on
name
Penacony's
in
stage.
HSR.
Memories scattered like
So this is the
ash.
new VA, I think.
Truth slumbered in destruction.
I
Come
probably a
across to
recast.
unveil
I
the
don't
Dahlia's
remember
mysteries.
this name. Please showcase her animations. I would love to see if this gets flagged by YouTube. Jesus Christ. She's gonna bloom.
The Dahlia first showed herself in the ceremonious declaration of war made by the Everflame Mansion against all factions present in Penacony. Duke Inferno and his children made declarations that they will prepare this beautiful dream to welcome its new masters from Fetora. Then, as luck would have it, they ran into Acheron. Plans that Duke Inferno prepared were abandoned before they even began.
Yet even so, I still made it to Penacony.
As Duke Inferno's daughter, Lady Constance's target was the Remembrance. Does that
And
mean
Black
her
Swan.
powers are also related to that path?
Do you remember when Constance
I
was
am
in a phone
currently
call?
A
and-
cremator with the ability to enkindle and fabricate memories. Do you
Okay.
remember how
Oh,
Albert
okay, so she just
remembered
confirmed it.
and
She's a
declared that
cremator,
he'll be
but she's not
promoted to
Remembrance.
ranks, as well as
Alright.
being moved to a key project as the host?
Alright, man.
Mention that, boss. Didn't you make that decision yourself?
Really? Who knows?
The one time you could have excused making a Remembrance Fire character and the Super Break one,
Wait,
you decided not to do it.
I see. What a perfect demonstration of these abilities.
All I see is a heartbreaking betrayal.
A little optimism might be wise. What if the information ends up being real?
Oh man, why do they
Can't
keep
even tell
doing
what's
this?
real anymore. Anyway,
I mean, I guess Black
we
Swan
know
isn't
that the
Remembrance,
Dahlia's
so
power
that's
involves
fine.
Fabricating non-existent memories. And Acheron never showing up. The Dahlia's opponent in Penacony would have been Black Swan from the Garden Recollection, right?
Ah, Black Swan. That name takes me back. We have a long history, you know.
Oh god.
Oh? Were you two good friends?
Oh.
It's hard to describe our relationship
Oh.
with simple words like good or friends.
What?
Ours is a game of competitive cooperation.
Okay.
If the chance arises, neither of us would hesitate to set a trap for the other.
That's
So,
crazy.
Compared to good friends, we're more like...
Good frenemies.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Or maybe we're fair weather friends.
That's
We
crazy.
once worked together in the Garden of Recollection.
Can we stop
We're
doing
both
this?
privy to some secrets about the other.
Garden of Recollection? Aren't you a member of the Annihilation Gang?
Oh? Didn't I say that I too was a memo keeper once upon a time? I betrayed the Remembrance and the Garden due to some differences in our ideals.
Okay.
Earlier still, I was also walking the path of destruction, only to betray it as well.
Oh.
These traces made of
So
golden
she's just
blood
not loyal at all.
are the marks the destruction left on me.
Oh.
Now I walk the universe as a cremator,
Okay.
as well as a child of Duke Inferno, who ruled the Everflame Mansion in the Annihilation Gang.
Aren't you switching between jobs a bit too quickly?
What a dangerous woman. She keeps switching between the destruction and the remembrance.
Then does that mean she's betrayed the Everflame Mansion as well? Has she discarded the identity of Duke Inferno's child too?
Who knows? Perhaps the truth has long been scattered to the wind, along with the ashes of memory. But in Penacony, the truth and the memories that were lost hold special meaning not only for the Trailblazer, but for me
Okay.
as well.
Indeed. During the story of the version 3.8 finality,
But this is a nice room.
Dahlia will help us regain the cremated memories.
This looks like Rarier's study.
Railblazing expedition.
Oh man.
For those whose memories of the story have grown a bit hazy, this is the perfect opportunity to revisit it.
Is this another reskin of Rarier's office? Holy shit.
Now, let's take a look at what powers are wielded by this otherworldly lady, someone who has graced so many different factions.
Good. I'm a fire character following the path of nihility.
Fiddle.
I allow my team to deal super break damage before they break the enemy.
Okay.
Using my
They really
skill,
don't want to
I'll
advertise
unleash
Carrie
a enemy
Lingsha.
zone. While the zone lasts, toughness reduction dealt by allies can trigger super break damage even before the enemies are broken. Also, while allied teammates are in the zone, their weakness break efficiency will increase.
Sounds like she'll be a great partner for teammates who are good at dealing super break damage.
That's right.
Shut up, Firefly.
At the start of a battle,
Anyway.
I'll automatically invite a teammate to
Who's afraid of
become dance
Constance?
partners together.
Run, guys, I'll hold her off.
Two dance
Run.
partners attacks an enemy target. They'll additionally deal one instance of super break damage based on the toughness reduction dealt by this attack. After the other dance partner launches an attack, I'll also follow their steps and unleash a follow-up attack to deal bounce damage to the enemies.
And as the moonlight falls, the Dahlia sweeps onto her stage.
My ultimate applies every dance partner's type weakness to all enemies and lowers their defense.
Oh, in other words, Lady Constance and her dance partner would both be able to reduce toughness and fight with greater ease.
That's right.
That's
And
right.
the damage dealt by my ultimate will be distributed evenly among all enemies.
Here's another hint. The Dahlia's trace allows allies to increase their speed when they implant a weakness onto enemy units. And if a fire character triggers this effect, they even regenerate a certain amount of energy.
Lastly,
Yeah.
I will create a special dimension when using my technique. Enemies in the dimension will not actively initiate attacks against ally targets. After entering combat with enemies in the dimension, I'll immediately initiate the zone from my skill and deal super break damage to enemy targets.
Super
So
break
dangerous,
damage.
yet so captivating. This combat style is truly fascinating.
Calm down, Robin.
Yeah,
Calm down, Robin.
magical allure of Constance. And now, it's time for a special message. Let's take a listen. Dear Trailblazer,
Oh, what is this?
version 3.8 will last for a total of 8 weeks. As such,
Huh?
this version's content will have additional adjustments.
Huh?
Firstly, in the newly added version
Oh.
event, Trailblazers can obtain tokens by consuming
I mean,
Trailblaze power.
Isn't this always gonna happen?
Trailblazers can obtain stellar jades
What?
and self-modeling resin.
Oh, extended version. Oh, it's extended.
Rewards.
No!
And that's not all. Version 3.8 will feature the double reward events,
No.
Lander Fisher,
No!
and Garden of Plenty. At the end of 3.8, there will also be a new phase of a
Oh no!
Not to mention the 3.8 version banners are a little special. In version 3.8's first phase banner,
What is this?
Trailblazers can acquire the limited 5-star.
Oh my god, this is dog shit. Oh, it's Gallagher. Hello.
Never forget her flame.
Okay, at least it's
Also
Gallagher.
have a boosted drop
That's
rate.
fine.
Additionally,
Of course.
5-star character
Of course.
Firefly and the limited 5-star light cone where about your dreams rest.
Okay, that's
will
nice.
return.
That's nice.
Now, in version 3.8,
Oh my god.
phase banner,
Okay.
5-star characters.
I thought that was a DDD for a second. I almost had a heart attack. Okay, no, it's not.
Limited 5-star light cones. Long road leads home.
Ah, of course.
Sent alone stays true. And finally, due to the version
What?
extension, there will also be a third.
There's a face
set.
there. There's DDD on this shit.
We'll see the return of the limited 5-star characters, Goliath and
Oh, I'm so cooked.
as limited 5-star.
Oh my god, I'm so cooked. I need Iwan Aglaya, DDD, and fucking Constance.
For more details, Trailblazers should keep their eyes peeled for further informational announcements. Up next, let's take a look at other events appearing in version 3.8.
Rappa's dead.
And now,
I'm sorry.
A long time ago? Was it a short while ago? The Chrysoso Wu Championship is about to begin.
So we have 3 phase banners. Phase 1, Constance and Firefly, that's expected. Phase 2, Lingsha and Fugue, that's expected. Phase 3, Evil and Intimidating Aglaya. Oh my god, Aglaya. Hi, Queen. Oh, okay. Phase 3, Aglaya. Is this Pokemon? I'm getting really distracted. Phase 3, Aglaya and Sunday, with DDD on banner.
Don't be alarmed, everyone. We know what we're doing.
Okay, this is somehow like Pokemon.
No chimeras will be harmed in this competition.
Oh my god, it's fish.
It's worth noting that the participants in
It's
the
fish.
championship are the Chrysos heroes, and they'll help the chimeras in their own ways. The Trailblazer can invite the heroes.
Rappa's not getting rerun. Holy
Every
fuck.
Chrysos heir has their
Bootil is also
own
not getting
chimera
rerun. We're
companion.
so cooked.
Through spending so much time together, the Chrysos heirs' chimeras had developed personalities much like their trainers.
For example, this master cat thief who snatches away enemy chimeras the moment battle begins.
Oh, what? She's a kidnapper?
She's clearly inherited Cypher's tricks.
They're so cute. I wish I could keep one.
Oh, they're as cute as the origami birds. I'm gonna become a loyal fan of the chimeras too.
And more chimeras are waiting.
Dude, that looks OP as
Needs to form a
shit.
dedicated team for them. During combat, the Trailblazer can purchase various chimeras from the store. Having identical ones grants them experience, allowing them to level up and become even stronger. There is also special equipment on sale that can be used to enhance
Okay,
your
so-
chimera friends. Build your ultimate team using each trainer's and chimera's
I assume
unique abilities. Then set out
The
to conquer
version
the world.
3.8 is only extended by 2 weeks because there's only phase
Apart
3.
from the tournament that
But
progresses
I don't
with the
know.
story, the event will also have a
I guess we're gonna have to check Hoya Lab later.
Fight Chrysos heirs or your friends. The Trailblazer can actively initiate a challenge, or they can set up a defending lineup and wait for challengers to fall into the trap.
Together with the chimeras, I'll end all conflicts in this world.
Oh? Isn't this supposed
This,
to be
Tribi Chimera
relaxing
looks broken,
and
by the way.
laid-back event?
If your blood's already boiling and you can't hold back any longer,
What
you
is
can
this?
always
Okay, I
try
guess
the
it's puzzle
event
event.
Remnants of Twilight. Within the Garden of Life, a strange scroll has surfaced. Its pages are filled with the epic legends of heroes who once stood against formidable foes.
Formidable foes immortalized into epics. They never fail to make
They
my
said
heart
8
race.
weeks instead of the normal 6. Yeah, okay, so it's a 2-week extension. That makes sense.
With unique mechanics in each stage.
Some stages will turn characters into merpeople to fight against the enemy.
That's
While
interesting.
other stages only need you to bring healing characters to ensure victory.
Oh.
That's right. You'll probably
Is
have a
this the
hard
new
time
AS
passing the
mechanics
challenges
that we're gonna
that
get?
your
That's
usual
pretty cool.
approach. For example, in the stage
Was that a mono sustain
our
team?
characters must split into 2 teams.
What is this
Wage
team?
Simultaneous battles against the bosses, Dark Duelist and White Guard.
What is going
One
on?
of 2 bosses is defeated, but the other is still standing. The defeated boss will be revived on their next action.
In other words, we need to try defeating the 2 bosses
Okay.
at the same time.
Okay.
The 4-person team is split into 2 and fight separately. Then the lineup also needs to change accordingly. It might be better to allocate a damage dealer for both battlefields.
That's right.
So it's a
Some of this
2v2
event
kind of thing. That's
lies in
pretty
how to
nice.
figure out a breakthrough under
This
brand
looks
new
really
mechanic.
cool. I
And
like
after
that.
you pass easy mode, there's also hard and nightmare modes waiting for you.
Combat is fun.
Additionally, the Divergent Universe will be updated.
I'm sorry,
according to
Divergent
Great
Universe
Order.
Currency Wars
New
has
equations, curios, and
really
curios.
reduced your value.
Synchronicity level cap will also increase to level 120 with an exclusive avatar reward.
And a brand new adventure mode, Balloon Bonanza, has also been added.
Oh? A new minigame?
Oh, that's
Exactly. The main objective
new
is to
Jingliuchis.
change the color of every balloon on the field. Once they're all the same color, they'll disappear.
Oh, okay.
The
It's
more
it's
rounds
like
of balloons you clear within the time
um,
limit, the greater the rewards you'll earn.
what's it
Doesn't
called?
that mean some
I don't know.
characters' techniques will be able to attack a whole lot of balloons at once?
But that might also get rid of the right colors.
Oh.
I can already
Okay,
see
so
how
it's not just the
flustered some
Jingliuchis
people
again.
might get.
And of course, let's let's not forget our old friend.
Yay, 10 pull.
The gift
Can you have
of
2 10
honesty.
pulls because of
Always
extended
present
phase?
and never giving you up. Check in for 7 days to get 10 Star Rail special passes.
Alright!
And with that, our special program is fast coming to a
Oh.
close. In Penacony, where sweet
There's no
dreams
way.
never
No
end,
teaser.
many riddles were revealed in the tide of memories.
Do not do this to me. Do not do this to me.
Of the Trailblazer. Let us follow Constance and rediscover the truth of the past. See you in the next program. Albert, clock it
Where's
up.
the teaser?
Thanks for tuning in.
I know you're hiding it somewhere.
Bye.
Where's the teaser? I know this is... Come on, come on, come on. I know this is... Okay, well... So we're, Hey guys, we're, gonna be stuck in Penacony for a bit. Alright. Okay, so... Oh, alpaca. This is insane. Should we talk about Constance and what the fuck she said here? Like, that was just freaky, but anyway. So, we're extended for 8 weeks. Alright. And because we're extended, by 2 weeks, we have this, which is pretty cool. We have double events, which is pretty cool. They're moving the Apocalyptic Shadow from what should have been the next patch into this patch, so that's nice, I guess. And we're gonna have 3 phase banners. Oh god, okay. So, I guess we can do a quick little banner review. There's not really much to talk about here. Okay, so we have Constance. Constance is a character that highly relies on the fact that you really like Super Break and you want to use it. Constance is one of the biggest damage increases for Super Break, even at whale investment, because her verticals are actually insane compared to other Super Break characters. Dahlia's E1 is more valuable than Bootil's E6. That should give you a frame of reference of how fucked up her verticals are. So, if you're someone that doesn't like Super Break, this is a character that I don't think is very useful. She will... Well, I shouldn't say that. She's still gonna be usable, and there are cases where she's gonna be really good. Like, obviously, Apocalyptic Shadow is one. In Apocalyptic Shadow, she's basically a better version of Ron May. So that's nice. Even if you're removing those damage boost stats. Just the fact that she tears toughness easier because of her follow-up attack, and her ult is quite strong, and should serve you pretty well in APOC. But if you're not looking to use her in APOC, then she's not really a useful character unless you have Super Break, and there's a lot of good teams in the game now where you're not chained to Super Break or anything, so like... You're not... I wouldn't say this is a character that you should pull. You really shouldn't pull this character. You'll only pull this character if you really like Super Break. Because even with Constance, Break is okay, but I still wouldn't compare it to Castorus and the bullshit that she does, right? Or Evernight, or even Anoxa. But like High Sealand, she does make Break really good and playable, finally. Not like meta breaking or anything, just pretty good now, and can catch up with 3.x characters. On the next phase, no, not the next phase. The next banner on phase 1 is Firefly. Firefly has really two notable eidolons, and after that, it doesn't really matter as much. Her sig is not very important. You would pull her sig if you are using Aeon on someone else, and there's very few destruction characters that are still in the meta nowadays that are using Aeon, so that's pretty common. So she doesn't need her sig. Her E1 is really strong because it eliminates the problem of her being really SP negative, and also just gives her more stats. And her E2 gives her an extra turn every 2 turns when she breaks an enemy, which increases her DPS by predictably a lot. So her E4 is whatever, and her E6 is pretty meh. So the only thing that you're really looking forward for with Firefly is just E2. And their E2 is a pretty strong one. It's, effectively around 50%, around the 50% damage increase, right? Just because of the fact that she gets extra turns. And I'm not even considering the fact that, break has certain thresholds where that's gonna matter, that's gonna be more than 50%. But either way, Firefly is a character that obviously has Dahlia as the best in slot because Dahlia has specific things that only Firefly can trigger, and Firefly really likes those things, like the energy, the extra speed, which helps her with her speed breakpoints, and the fact that Constance is a lot more SP positive than, let's say, Ron May, makes it so that Firefly's E1 isn't as necessary, which is why there are clears now of Firefly and Dahlia, even though Firefly is E0 that can zero cycle with shilling. Because Dahlia even at E0 does enough for Firefly's weaknesses at E0 to be a perfectly good character. Like an okay character, not like someone on the level of Evernight or something, just a really good character, I guess. So, yeah, I mean, that's nice. If you don't have Eidolons on Firefly, Dahlia is a much bigger deal. But even if you have E2 Firefly, Dahlia is also a pretty big deal. Either way, if you want to use Firefly at this point, you need Dahlia. Otherwise, her mechanics just don't feel very nice at all in 3.x with all of this toughness inflation and all the mechanics going against it. Assuming you do have Dahlia, she's perfectly fine. I wouldn't recommend her over something like Evernight, who's just absolutely bullshit or something, so... that's fine, right? If you already have Firefly, if you want... again, if you already have Firefly, you should just pick up Dahlia. It's like a no-brainer. And if you don't have Firefly and you have Bootel or Rappa, just pull Dahlia. There's no reason why you shouldn't pull the Super Break character that has actually good vertical investment that covers every Super Break DPS's weaknesses. Like with Bootel's main weakness, he doesn't have good Eidolons, so Dahlia actually having good Eidolons is a indirect Bootel buff. Rappa's weakness of not having weakness implant innately in Super Break teams is fixed by Dahlia's ult, and with vertical investment it becomes less of an issue. So, that's nice. Is there a point in trying to make my E2 Firefly work again? Yeah, I mean, you've already gotten E2 Firefly, might as well give her Dahlia, which is just 1 cost, and give her, like, probably maybe 2 to 3 patches of viability. I mean, it depends on elation mechanics, but at the very least should give you like 3 patches or so, and then she's start gonna fall a little, maybe, but If you don't want that E2 Firefly to collect dust, you should pull Dahlia. Is Dahlia still just as good if you don't have Fugue? Sure. The thing about Fugue is she doesn't really particularly synergize that much with Dahlia, where she's a big upgrade over Harmony MC. But what Rappa provides to a DPS is really big. Not Rappa. What Fugue provides to a DPS is really big. Because, for example, with a character like Bootil, Fugue allows Bootil to double his trick shot stacking, which is irreplaceable for certain matchups. And in Rappa's case, you're never gonna run Rappa without Fugue because that's just such a huge damage loss. You do not want to do that. So, even though Fugue doesn't really directly synergize with Dahlia, she synergizes with every break DPS, which also synergizes with Dahlia. So it's like, you still want Fugue because, you know, your DPSs want Fugue, not Constance. Is E0 Dahlia better than E2 Ron May? Yes. E1 Ron May is garbage nowadays. I mean, you have to remember, Constance gives you super break damage when the enemy isn't broken. Against some enemies, Ron May cannot match that in any capacity. Against some enemies, that's just broken. Pardon the pun, but against some enemies, you just cannot find an alternative to that. So, you know. Stop asking me questions. I'll have a pre-release. Okay, we have Fugue and Lingsha. I guess I talked about Fugue already with Dahlia, but Fugue is a pretty okay character. I mean, like I said, Fugue is really important in making break mechanics work, like pocket trick shot stacking, Rappa's talent, giving her like a massive damage boost. And even with Firefly E2, the fact that she gives an extra break bar is very comfortable. And also with Shui, with Himiko, every break DPS has like some interaction with Fugue that's really good. And you cannot replace it. As for her Eidolons, her E1 is a 50% weakness break efficiency to one character, which sometimes is pretty mid actually, especially compared to Constance's verticals, but her E2 makes her ult basically have DDD. Her E2 is basically a DDD Eidolon. When she uses her ult, she gives you full S5 DDD effect. You just get an action advance, which is unsurprisingly very good for super break teams because DDD spamming is just insane. She also could use tutorial with that, so you can imagine how much advance she gets. So that's cool. If you're wanting to use a break DPS, usually the next thing that you should pull for is Fugue because of how important her mechanics are. Like, if you're starting from scratch, for example, you would have Bootil, Constance, and then Fugue. And sometimes you would actually prefer Fugue first over Constance because Bootil's stacking is gonna suck even with Constance in some fights. So that's nice. So she's pretty important for break DPSs, and if you have a break DPS, it's no-brainer. You should pull for Fugue. Also, a signature is pretty okay, but with E2, she prefers tutorial because again, ult DDD spam. tutorial giving energy is insane. So she doesn't need her light cone. She's mostly an E2 merchant, really. But in E0 she works fine. She's okay. Then you have Lingsha. Okay, so Lingsha is, at least used to be, one of the most versatile characters in the game, because she could be used as an AoE driver, as a crit DPS back when HP inflation wasn't so bad. She could be used as a main break DPS. She can be used as a hurts a battery. There's just a lot of synergies with Lingsha that makes her really usable for a lot of teams. Unfortunately, she's not best in slot for a lot of them nowadays. Like with Herta actually prefers PT. You know, Hyacine exists now for anything else that isn't break. So nowadays, Lingsha's best role is being a break sub DPS / healer. And with Constance, that gets elevated to a pretty high level, because Lingsha is serviceable enough as an AoE break DPS that you can have 3 supports with her, and she can double up as a sustain and a DPS. Now, according to calcs, DPS Lingsha still isn't as good as Firefly. Apparently, even at E0, Lingsha just loses. But Lingsha is a sustain, which means if the fight goes long enough, she's gonna be one of those very comfortable options that's gonna feel better than Firefly sometimes. Especially if you're someone that doesn't vertically invest a lot, that's probably gonna happen. Either way, at this point in the game, the main thing that you're looking Lingsha for is to be a break sustain and / break DPS at the same time. She's still usable and versatile in other teams, but obviously she's not going to be better nowadays with PT and Hyacine existing. She also has really good verticals. Only E1 though. Her signature is okay, but sometimes it's actually better to use a Luocha light cone somehow. I don't know why that is, because Luocha light cone allows her to spam her bunny attacks and just get an insane amount of toughness damage off, where her signature actually might not be her best in slot anymore. It depends on how many enemy targets there are though. But either way, she's an abundance character, and there's so much good options for abundance, even as a break sustain, that you don't really need her sig. Lingsha's E1 is particularly really busted because it gives you like near permanent 20% defense shred, and it also gives Lingsha weakness break efficiency. Mathematically, this means Lingsha's E1 is better than Fugue's E1. But after Lingsha's E1, there's really nothing much else to look forward to. But it does upgrade her as a DPS, so I mean, it's not a waste. I just don't suggest you do that, but either way. Lingsha is a good character now with Constance, but again, it all depends on break, right? If you don't think break is worth it, which is a pretty valid concern because elation and stuff, then yeah, you should probably just skip Lingsha. But if you're looking forward to break, I think Lingsha is a must pull. While you can run sustainless with break, who knows how long this is gonna last, right? Like we saw with the past year, how easy it is for break to need a sustain because it's just so difficult nowadays to catch up with HP. So Lingsha might still be someone that you have to pull for, even though you're a sustainless runner. Just in case, you know, just in case. So yeah. Again, Lingsha's a good character. She's pretty versatile and works in many teams, but she's not the best anymore in most of those teams. But in break, she has her own niche. Like in break, Hyacine cannot compete with her, which sounds obvious, but if you see the results of the wheelchair meta, this is actually a bigger achievement than you think it is. Because she's an old character, actually. She's been released more than a year ago. So that's nice, right? And then we have Phase 3, because we're extending this patch by 2 weeks. Now you have Aglaya, and DDD on banner, and also Sunday. With his Sig and DDD. I've already made a tier list, and you guys know what I think about Aglaya. I really like Aglaya. I like her design. I like her character. She's literally mother. However, I would be lying if I said Aglaya was worth it. Aglaya is a character that you basically treat her signature as her E1. No, actually other way around. You treat Aglaya's E1 like it's her signature. And even with E1, I hesitate people to really go for her. It's not because she's like actually bad, it's because everyone else kind of just doesn't need to go through the hoops to be as good as other characters. Just you can make Aglaya work, it's pretty easy, you just pull her E1. But she definitely takes a bit more effort compared to, let's say, an Evernight or a Castris or a Phynon or... But I guess with Phynon, he's also a high-cost demon and stuff like that, but... Yeah. Her signature is also nice, but again, her E1 should be her priority. If you're someone that has only E0 Aglaya, you should really pick up that E1. You probably know already how torturous it is to run Aglaya without her E1. It's actually so bad that there's not a single Anom clear with Aglaya at E0. It's that bad. That energy situation is this bad. Unless she's getting wheelchaired by like DPS from Tribi and Hyoscene. But even then, apparently there hasn't been a recorded run of Aglaya at E0 in Anom. Apparently it's just impossible. So yeah, no. I think for Aglaya to really be impressive, you need your E1 at this point, and if you're not willing to go for that, that's perfectly fine. You have a lot of options. And we're gonna go into 4.x, and you're probably gonna have better characters there that would fit the meta. But hey, at least DDD is on the banner, right? So, if you already have E1, picking up her Sig with DDD at copies would be pretty good deal. Okay, next is Sunday. Sunday used to be the prototypical hyper carry support, right? Because he's so generic and he provides all the hallmarks of a good Harmony support. But ironically, with Cyrene, that isn't really that much of a case anymore. You still use Sunday with Aglaya. Sunday is worse than Cyrene with Mighty. Sunday is worse than Cyrene with Anaxa. Sunday is worse than Cyrene with Phynon, however, that comes with a few caveats. But Sunday is more versatile, right? He's not locked to Chrysos heirs. And he's not so bad that, you know, Cyrene just stomps him. So that's okay. His signature is pretty busted. Sparkle uses it. Cerebro uses it. Pretty much every Harmony support before 3.x uses Sunday's LC as a best in slot, which is really funny. Except for Robin, I guess, fittingly. So that's cool. Sunday is also still gonna be the best in slot for every hyper carry before 2.x. before 3.x, I mean. One of the favorite teams that I have with Sunday comprises of using Lingsha as a carry, which is cool. I believe there's also Sunday with Fei Xiao, which is a bit more tricky, but it works apparently. There's also Sunday with Acheron, but that requires Eidolons on Acheron to be really that impressive. There's also Sunday with Bootil sometimes. There's Sunday with see, here's the problem now. 1.x DPSs have Sunday as their best in slot, but you're still using a 1.x DPS, so... And Sunday's not like Tribi, where he does his own personal damage to carry those lower multipliers, so it's like... He's actually running out of teammates rapidly. Because the ones that he's best in slot for are aging out, and he's not... And Cyrene just released, which gave the newer characters new best in slots. So, ironically, he's sort of getting less use as time goes on. Maybe in 4.x that changes though, but yeah. There's also Blade, I guess, which is nice. Blade doesn't use Cyrene, so that's cool. But again, it's Blade. Blade is a good character, but he's a 50-50 loss character for a reason. So, you know, it's nice, but don't get your hopes up too high for that, I guess. Saber? Yeah, Saber's a pretty good character too, I guess. She doesn't use Cyrene. But have they announced if Saber's banner is gonna end? I guess they haven't. But Saber's more of an E6 merchant, I guess, but it doesn't. That's fine, I guess. That's fine. What about Jing Yuan? You're using Jing Yuan in 2025. I'm sorry, but I think that's a little bit too cope nowadays. Also, another problem with Sunday that it's actually the main reason why he's been kicked out of a Finon team. Sunday's verticals are somewhat... They're actually pretty bad. His E1 is very specific to Jing Yuan. And... I mean, it's okay for Aglaya, I guess, but it's not very good either. And then past E1, it's all crap. So... Yeah, that's why Sunday starts losing to Cyrene if you have at least one Eidolon on either Sunday or Cyrene. Sunday just keeps losing once you put in Eidolons into account, so yeah, that's unfortunate, but I guess with PT being free, he's not as restricted with his 50% damage boost anymore, so I guess that's okay, but the only really meta relevant character with Sunday would actually be Saber and Blade. Huh. That's interesting. Otherwise, he's just a strict downgrade. Well, I guess you can use Aglaya with Sunday and Cyrene, but it's worse than RMC. But I guess RMC is a path switcher, so that's also fine. So yeah, Sunday's actually not that versatile anymore, but he's still pretty usable. The 3.x characters, except for Saber, really like Cyrene more than Sunday. But it doesn't mean that Sunday's like bad enough that you can clear with him. It's just that Cyrene's better. So don't get your, don't be so disappointed, but because we're out of Amphorius now, Sunday should get more characters than Cyrene, so that's nice. It's just that for now the roster of characters he's best installed with are sort of aging. So you just, you know, take care of. Just take note of that, right? Where the fuck is Robin for €2? Why did you pay €2 for that? I don't know where Robin is. When has Robin gotten a rerun? I feel like it was recent, but maybe I'm imagining things. Anyway, reviewing these banners as a whole, phase 1 is pretty expected. You have the next new break support, and you have the DPS that gets the most out of the next new break support, so that's obvious. Then you have the best, or what used to be the best, super break support that you run with the next best break support. And then you have the break sustain that can also work as a break DPS. So you just have a full team here. I'll be making a video about pulling priority with Dahlia and break. And I'll probably release it tomorrow. Because I think this is a very interesting one. It's not like Cyrene where it's that much high cost, but yeah. And then phase 3, I guess they just threw this on a whim. You have Aglaya, and you have the support that used to be the best with Aglaya. And DDD, just to bait you into pulling more. Either way, I think this is the most skippable set of banners, even though there's 3 of them. Even though there's 3 faces, I think this is the most skippable patch in HSR. Dahlia's a character that you really don't care about unless you're a break Andy. Firefly, same thing. And even if you're a break Andy, you might prefer Rappa or Buto. Then you have Fugue, who is very crucial to break DPSs. And you have Lingsha, who's a very funny break DPS, but more importantly a break sustain to help break last longer in fights where there's a lot of HP. And then you have Aglaya, who isn't, at this point, I feel like needs her E1 to be really competitive. And then you have Sunday, who used to be best in slot for a lot of characters, but nowadays is still pretty good, just not the best anymore. And you also have DDD, just so, you know, to bait you into pulling Sunday SIG copies, I guess. Anyway. Yeah. That's all for the banners. Let me look at some other content. Sorry, I got distracted. Is there anything else I'm missing? Oh yeah, this one. This looks cool. So apparently there's like a new combat event that gives you 2 fights at the same time. So you have 2 characters fighting a different boss, and then 2 characters fighting a different boss, which is fun. I wonder if that's gonna be like a new AS gimmick. And also, there's, yeah, this one. It turned High Sealants into an actual fish. Wait, that's funny. Wait, I want to see that clip. This is actually High Sealants' true form. Oh my god, she's a fish. She was a fish all along. This was unexpected. Okay. This was a Fei Xiao fight mechanic, so that's cool. Why does it... Okay, it gives a crit damage buff for some reason. This is a DOT team, by the way. Wait, why is Sunday here? What is this? I guess they're just trying everything. I don't know. Then there's this one, which is the mono sustain team. What are they doing? Why is there cycles like MOC? This is insane. A mono sustain team. Is this a preview of Elation? What is this? And then, okay, I guess this one makes sense because it's like a 2v2 kind of thing. This one looks okay. I'm sorry, but compared to Currency Wars, this game mode is washed. uh, is there anything else? Nothing. Okay. We have 8 weeks. It's gonna be a long 8 weeks. Oh, there's not enough content. Bro, this is gonna be a tough 8 weeks to shovel through. At least we have AS, right? I mean, I guess we have extended A&M arbitration, I mean, so that's okay. Hey, can I pull fine on LC now as the next patch is long and I don't have Cerebra? Or should I skip? If you wanna use Finon's LC is really strong, so yeah, you should. I'm actually surprised by that. Why did they rerun Aglaya and Sunday instead of Cerebra and High Sealants? That's so fucked up now that I think about it. Why would they do that? Wait, why would they try and do that? Why? Yeah, if you want to use Final, pull for a Sig. And by the time that Ceredra has a rerun, you should have enough pulls to get Ceredra. So, you know, that's cool, right? I guess this is also one more patch of saving for... Well, no, I have to pull E1 Aglai just to show my... unending loyalty to Lady Goldweaver, but... Well, I'm also spending on constant, so I guess I'm just fucked overall. Anyway, this is gonna be a long and winding road for sure. It leads me to your door. You left me standing here a long, long time ago. Anyway, yeah, I'll be making a video about Dahlia's pool priority. I can give you a sneak peek, I guess. Untitled spreadsheet. Okay. Whoops. You guys hear that? Okay. Here it is. This is kind of a double negative, not double negative, but like I guess it's a redundant statement. The thing about Ron May is even if you have her E1, Constance is still gonna be an upgrade. The only reason you're using Ron May with Constance is you're using another MC path. That's basically the only reason you'd be using Ron May, unfortunately. Or if you don't have Fugue, you're subbing in Fugue for Ron May, I guess. But as you see, Fugue is pretty early priority. So, yeah. Unfortunately, Ron May doesn't really show up in an investment map because after E1, Ron May's Eidolons are just garbage for break. So, if you're wanting to pull for Firefly, you can go... You should pick up Firefly first, obviously. Firefly's Sig is not very important for her role, and because there's not actually that many meta destruction characters that like using Aeon, the free Hurt to Shop Light Cone, the Firefly Sig is actually not that important. And then after Firefly, you get Dahlia E0. Now, Firefly's E2 theoretically should be stronger than Dahlia's E0, but the thing is, if you don't have enough pulls to get Firefly E2, you'd rather be in a situation where you have Firefly and Dahlia both at E0 over Firefly at only E1 without Dahlia. That's just a death sentence. So, you'd rather pick up Dahlia first, just in case you keep losing 50-50s. And then after you get Dahlia, you should have a clear road to Firefly's E2. But you can also pull Fugue, it's fine. The reason why I put Fugue below Firefly's E2 is because Fugue's Exo Toughness doesn't really kick in its usefulness for Firefly until she's E2. And if Firefly isn't E2, Harmony MC is still serviceable and not that different from Fugue E0. So you should pick up Firefly's E2 first and then get Fugue's E0. At least in my opinion. It's not a bad idea to do the reverse though. It's just, I think if I was gonna pull for Firefly, this would be my order. And then after Fugue E0, you can start going for Fugue Eidolons or Dahlia Eidolons. I think Fugue and Dahlia Eidolons are interchangeable. But after Fugue's E2, you shouldn't spend any more on Fugue. Just go for Dahlia's because every Eidolon on Dahlia's is really strong. The reason why sometimes Fugue E2 is better is because it's just a DDD, right? It's a really strong effect. Dahlia's E1 fluctuates in value a lot. In some teams, it's like really strong. But in other teams and in other scenarios, it's not that strong. Like, for example, if you're in Pure Fiction, Dahlia's E1 doesn't do that much toughness damage compared to Fugue's E1, actually. Like, if you're using Firefly in Pure Fiction, she already implants weaknesses, which is something Dahlia gives at E0, so even if she didn't implant, it doesn't matter. And Firefly does enough toughness damage to where the E1 isn't actually that big of a deal. And since Firefly does most of the team's damage, it's not like the enemies being able to do... it's not like the other allies being able to do super break damage is that big of a deal. In Pure Fiction. But once you reach scenarios like MOC or Apocalyptic Shadow, Dahlia's E1 is completely irreplaceable. There's nothing that can match it. Because the toughness bars just get inflated so high. So it depends on what you want. I think if you're looking for a more versatile investment, Fugue's E2 is pretty damn strong. But if you want scenarios where Dahlia is just completely overkill and completely shuts down bosses and like low scoring them, her E1 is irreplaceable and busted. I will say this. Sometimes you might not want Dahlia's E1 and you want to go for her Sig. But the main reason isn't because it does more damage. Dahlia's Sig is really strong, it's busted because of the separate multiplier it takes. But the main reason why you would want to get Dahlia's signature is you don't have enough light cones. Straight up. If you're using Dahlia with Fugue using tutorial is completely crap unless you're E2. And Dahlia is gonna use something like Pearls, right? Like in a Fugue and Dahlia team, the free-to-play option is usually one is wearing Pearls, one is wearing tutorial. But tutorial is a very versatile light cone. And so, if you're running Break on one side and you're running DOT on one side, Kafka really wants tutorial. Kafka cannot use anything else other than tutorial unless you're E4. it feels really bad if you don't have Kafka on tutorial. So now you have 3 units wanting to use tutorial, and one of them has to lose. The best signature light cone out of those 3 would be Dahlia's. Fugue's light cone is not as good as Dahlia's, and Kafka's light cone is not as good as Dahlia's, obviously. So if you were gonna make a sacrifice, you have to pull Dahlia's Sig so that you have to use tutorial on another character. You also cannot get dupes of tutorial, and you can't run 2 Pearls in the same team or 2 Cypher Sigs in the same team. That's just not possible. You can't stack it. So, yeah. There will be cases where you just run out of light cones for Dahlia to use if you don't have her Sig. Probably just the Herda cone for raw break effect and nothing else. Unfortunately, okay. Let me give you like a reference on how cooked the hell the LCs are. Where is it? Okay, here it is. And then where's solitary healing? Unfortunately, the energy is so difficult to pull off that solitary healing might as well be replaced with a S5 Fermata. You're only 8% break effect off. Yeah, it's dire. The only way you would trigger this is if Constance triggers break, which with her toughness damage is not very reliable. How about 3 stars? I guess Void. Wait, no, not Void. Which one is it? Bruh. Never mind. If you have the Battle Pass Lycon, I guess that works, right? Oh. Oh wait, she doesn't really... Yeah, and you're building effect hit rate on this. That's pretty bad. Should be usable, but... Yeah, this one's a crit light cone, this one's effect hit rate stat stick. I guess with 5-star SIGs, you have a bit more options. Like, this one's pretty decent. But wait. If you're pulling Cypher, you should have Acheron on your account. Oh well, I guess if you can spare your Cypher usage, you can put it on Constance. Either way. If you don't have enough light cones for... enough 5-star light cones for Nihility, like Cypher Sig or even Zhao Cho's Sig, you might be required to pull Dahlia's S1 over her E1, because you're just gonna run out of light cones. Yeah. As for Bootel's verticals are really bad. The only notable one is his signature, but to give you a reference, this is Bootel's signature. 60% break effect, 20% defense ignore, and 12% speed. And this is Motsu's light cone. At S5, it is 56% break effect, so less, but it's also the same amount of speed. It's still a more or less 15% damage increase because of the defense ignore. No, 20%, yeah. 20% increase, more or less, because of the defense ignore. But if you have this at S5, there's better things to chase after. But also, those are the only 2 break light cones, so if you don't have Motsu's light cone, the other options are garbage, so You might as well pull Bootil Sig, right? So yeah. Compared to Firefly, you actually want to go Fugue with Bootil first because it fixes a lot of his kit's problems with stacking. And in general, it's just a huge damage boost because double Break Bleed is actually insane. Double Fizz Break, I mean, not Break Bleed. Double Fizz Break is insane. It's just a lot of screenshot damage. And then you should get Dahlia Z0. So after you get Bootil Sig, you basically just invest into Fugue and Dahlia again. Copy paste what I said with Firefly. Bootil's Eidolons are pretty bad. Again, as a frame of reference, Dahlia's E1 is stronger than Bootil's E6. So please do not please don't expect Bootil's Eidolons to be a worthy investment, but yeah. Is Cypher Sig better than Tutorial on Kafka? It depends. The thing about Tutorial is that it can fuel really strong high sealants damage. And if your high sealants is really, really strong, being able to detonate it more, it's gonna be a big deal. Even compared to Defense Shred, just having more triggers is insane. Numbers wise, though, Cypher Sig wins. But it's not that big of a landslide, you know, it also loses sometimes. It's a threshold thing, right? I have no Rappa. Want Rappa, have Fugue. Should I pull Dahlia in preparation? Yes, you should. Dahlia gives Rappa imaginary weakness, which no other break support can give her without having a trade-off. Because if Rappa wants imaginary weakness, she needs to get it from Silverwolf or Anaxa, which, you know, is crazy. Constance is clearly a better character for that. Rappa doesn't have an implant, and yeah. She really, really wants imaginary weakness to pop enemies quick enough. Wait, man, why didn't you do a video on the Hill DLCs? I can do that. I mean, thanks for the idea. I guess I never really thought about making a video about it, but what if I have Lingsha Fugue RM at E00? What is priority for me to pull? I gave you this. It's written on the screen. Surprisingly, if you want to run Lingsha as a DPS, your next priority is actually Lingsha E1. It's actually a surprisingly really strong Eidolon. Lingsha's E1 is stronger than Fugue's E1. The problem becomes that after Lingsha's E1, there's not really that much else to look forward to. But after you get Lingsha's E1, I think Dahlia wins over Fugue in some respects, because Lingsha is a really good pure fiction unit, and Dahlia's Eidolons are very strong for pure fiction, because Dahlia's E2 applies Fire Implant when the enemies enter, so against pure fiction, that's like insane. And Dahlia's E1 is gonna really help Lingsha for single target, because her single target toughness damage is really bad. So that's nice. So I think I would actually wait more on Dahlia's Eidolons over Fugue's Eidolons with Lingsha, surprisingly. Do all teams assume RM is the 4th slot? Yeah. Well, no, it assumes Harmony MC. It assumes that you're starting off at just Ron May and Harmony MC on your roster. Otherwise, I mean, Gallagher exists, but even with Gallagher, you should be pulling these characters. E2 Dahlia with Himiko is really strong in PF, right? Yes. It basically just gives fire weakness outright, which with Himiko is a really strong threshold for her to loop her chainsaw attack. You might be able to reach wave 3 of Pure Fiction just looping Himiko's attacks, because Constance implants fire at the start, so there's no stopping the gravy train. For Pure Fiction, in general, Dahlia's a bigger deal. Again, that E2 giving implants outright is crazy. For Rappa, it's really insane, because she scales off on imaginary damage. Imaginary weakness, I mean. So yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. This is pretty simple, right? Just read my notes here. Mr. Streamer, how does Sunday and RMC work together with Aglaya? I mean, just giving her a lot of turns. Yeah. To be honest, at this point, Aglaya needs her E1 more than she needs Sunday. Because Cyrene exists now, and you have RMC, and yeah. Her energy problems just pisses me off. I don't know. I actually made this chart as a preparation that they're gonna rerun every break DPS, but it's only Firefly. Not even Rappa, who's been on the rerun bench since a year ago. I want to check out Rappa mains and see what they're thinking about this. I don't know if I want to look. Wait, let me see what's new. So we've had pretty much. Okay, they're just pretending that Rappa has not been released yet. I should make this my thumbnail. Ah, true. True. Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy. For what? It really is funny that they didn't rerun Steroid or High Sealants as like a get out of jail free card. It's also funnier that they didn't rerun Buto and Rappa. Because that would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? Like phase 3 Buto Rappa, guys. No, I'm sorry. Here's your third Aglaya rerun. Oh man, people are mad as hell, bro. They are angry. Do you think it's worth it going for E1S1 Aglaya right now? I don't have her, but I really love her. Okay, that's all. That's the only thing that should matter. If you really love Aglaya, get E1S1. You also have Cyrene, so it's good. She's not objectively she's not worth it at this point, I think. But if you really like her, she works. At E1S1, she definitely works. So, fuck what the meta says, right? If you really love the character, that should be the only thing that should convince you. Do you think it's better to run Lingsha Hypercarry with Ranmei or Sunday? Ranmei. What's the team? Lingsha, Ranmei, Constance, and HMC or Fugue, I guess? HMC should be better, yeah. I think actually Sunday might win. No, I don't think that's true. Sunday effectively gives Lingsha 100% weakness break efficiency, but the magic in Lingsha teams is Harmony MC also does good single target. So it might be, it probably is less on Sunday's favor. Does E2 Firefly's best in slot light cone change whether you have Dahlia or not? I mean, no, it doesn't, but okay, so here's what I've heard. According to some Firefly mains that are spreadsheet junkies, Firefly's best in slot light cone is fine on Sig because it gives base speed. It allows you to hit speed breakpoints easier and it's also better stats. So make use of that information how you wish. Yeah. Let's have a look, right? So Firefly increases your break effect by 60% and 24% increased break damage and 20% lowered speed. Finons gives you 12 base speed and then 18% defense ignore. This is actually somewhat better because you can build break effect with your substats and let this do the work. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you that I didn't make the information. Also high base attack, yeah. That's really funny, isn't it? Whoops. Especially with Constance, because Constance gives you a speed buff which scales off base speed. So like, I don't know, man. It's just funny. Look at the base attack on this, right? 476, 688. Jesus Christ. I know, right? Why is this actually so high? Wow, they compensated with base defense. Why do they do that? And base HP? Wow. I don't know, man. Is Aglaya good if my Cyrene is locked to another teammate? Yeah. You just use Sunday and RMC. I guess that's also a good part of Sunday. If your Cyrene is on another team and you want to run a Chrysos Air, most likely you're using Sunday. That's cool. If you're not running Remembrance bullshit anyway. Wow. 20% fire res pen and 50% weakness break efficiency. Wow. 50% weakness break efficiency when we're already stacking like 150% with Eidolons. Oh man. Um anyway, yeah. That's uneventful stream. I was hoping some teasers, but they deflated me. What is gonna happen? When is the next live stream? Let's check out Hoyo Lab. Did they announce something that they didn't give us here? Honkai Star Rail. Official. Reef. Is there any announcements? Jesus Christ. I just want to bite into that anyway. This is the Grove. This is one of the bosses of all time. Has like 2 new animations. Dahlia, phase 1, Firefly, and you have 2 Starlight Cones. Yeah. And then you have... Should I make like banner reviews 3-parters? Because you have phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. We have a trilogy going on here. Oh my god. Rappa in the rerun. I mean, Rappa is a Japanese style character. Well, Rappa's entire character is being a weeb. Legit, like, Rappa's perception of Japan is based on manga and purely fictional, idealized content. So she's 100% just a weeaboo. She's not actually Japanese. She's just a weeb. Weebs are banned now thanks to the political tension. What is this? Holy shit. You know what this means, right? Oh my god, that's... The leaker was right. Chinese New Year is on the 14th. Oh no. Okay. When is drip mark... Okay, when is drip marketing? When is it? They never said... Actually, they never said it. They didn't. Wait. Hold on. Wait a second. Okay, so they extended the events. Currency wars. Oh yeah, we heard about this. Okay. Okay. So phase 1 is 1/7. So that it starts at December... No, December 16. And then goes to... No, it starts at December 10, right? And then it goes to... No, it starts at 7. Fuck. Whatever. It ends at 7. And then from 7 to 28. Yeah. Wait, this is 3 weeks. Okay, so this is 3 weeks. This is 3 weeks. This is 2 weeks. Oh no. Bro, this is gonna go so slow. Okay. Okay. Hmm? Oh, okay. Bruh. Man, this was disappointing. Can I see in... Is there anything more? Really? Oh, this is just what was made already. I always like doing these. How do I preview her model again? There's supposed there's supposed to be a button here that previews her model. Ah, the freaky owl icon. Oh? Oh. Currency wars! Yay! Alright, well I guess that's it. I'm very disappointed. This was a nice stream. I remember last time we streamed there was 800 people watching. Now that we're in this slop, I guess we're at 400 viewers now. This game has really fallen off, hasn't it? Okay, so content plan. What am I gonna do? Okay, let me look. One, Constance banner reviews, I guess, first of all. What was that? Constance full priority. I also have a bunch of topic videos, I guess. What was the suggestion vid about Nihil DLCs? I forgot what even was gonna talk about, and for topic videos about break. I don't know what you want me to talk about Nihil DLCs. Because I think it's pretty clear cut. Nihility has really good light cones, but because they're so good, people are stealing them from each other. Like, there's only one tutorial on an account, and because tutorial is so good, everyone wants it. It's like the Hertz Shop light cone, the destruction one all over again. Because Jingliu, Danheng Imbiber Lune, Clara, all of them wanted to use it. So it's like the same thing as that one. And also Firefly. Nowadays, yeah. Nowadays, like I said with Firefly, Aeon is not really a coveted LC anymore because Jingliu became an HP scaler. Lune is fucking dead. Blade has always been an HP scaler, so he was never trying to steal it. So pretty much the only ones left that are gonna be using Aeon is Firefly and Saber. And out of those two, the one that gets the most impact out of their light cone is Saber. So yeah. Finon as well. Finon's Sig is so good for him though. Like yeah, Finon can use it, but Finon Sig is so crucial to running him. Obviously he can clear without it, but it's like it's an insane increase. Whereas with Fireflies, it's not an insane increase, it just, you know, it's an LC. With Finon, he literally cannot breathe without that LC sometimes. Does Bootil even need LC? It depends. I mean, if you don't have the Mutsu cone, you want to pull Bootil Sig. The other options are just so bad. Even then, you still want to pull Bootil Sig because 20% DPS increase is crazy. And it's not like Bootil's a high-cost warrior. He doesn't really have really good vertical investment outside of Constance, so it's like you're not gonna spend on Bootil's E1, which he needs to play the game, no. Bootil's E6 is not even that strong anyway. Cypher Sig is tempting me, but I don't know how good it would be on Dahlia. I mean, it's basically just pearls, but you know, doesn't stack with pearls, right? So you can use Fugue on pearls and Constance on Cypher Sig, but you have to worry about, you know, defense shred overcapping and stuff. But Constance's Sig is much stronger for break teams. But Cypher Sig is a lot more versatile. For efficiency's sake, I think Cypher Sig is better. Because if I'm not gonna be using Dahlia, I could use it on, you know, Gaucho or something. Or just Cypher herself or Silver Wolf. So, even though it's worse, I would pick Cypher Sig because it's more versatile and I can use it on more teams. Between Castorus and Aglaya, who wants Irene more? Castorus, I think. I mean, I think Aglaya needs it more because she's a weaker character. But Castorus gets more out of Cyrene. Aglaya has a pretty strong alternative in the name of Sunday, so the thing is that you're not like the thing is that Aglaya already has strong enough options that Cyrene isn't that big of a requirement, but it's still a huge upgrade. Whereas with Castorus, Cyrene is one of the very few Memo Sprite characters, and it gives her the really strong blessing that allows her to overcap and deal insane bounce damage that nobody else can give her. So yeah. Can Saber teams use Dahlia? In Apocalyptic Shadow, sure. Again, it's like Dahlia's really only usable in Break. Otherwise, it's not very encouraging to use her. It looks pretty mid. But that is only the case if you're not in AS. In AS, she works like Ron May, which means even if you're not running a break team, Ron May could be your best in slot character because she breaks faster. So Dahlia is going to be a mainstay for your AS run. But outside of that, you're only going to use her on break. You happen to know when drip marketing? Nope. Should I play HSR right now? I've been here for 2 hours and 30 minutes. I think this is fine enough, right? So let me check my settings because I'm about to end stream pretty soon. By the way, that this fan art is still hanging. If there are any artists in my chat that are listening to this right now, I want you to create art of Wavebird, either one, you know, either this Wavebird or either the Wavebird that is in the computer screen right now. Let me move him around. This adorable boy. This Wavebird. If you create fan art of Wavebird, anyone, any form of that, then I will put you on the wall. I will give you extra credit if you draw Wavebird with Emily. Because I want my queen represented in my stream screen. So if you are an artist, I don't know how to pay you actually. So I mean I could pay you with Star Rail Express passes, I guess. Because I can protect my identity that way. But if you create very good fan art of Emily with Waybird, I will put it on stream and you will be immortalized. You might become a mod for my server, my Discord server, whenever I get to that. Emily? Oh, let me give you a picture of her. Hold on, I'm downloading. I'm trying to see which one is like the most appropriate. That was the worst way I could have said that. Let me give you a picture of her. There. Whoa. Okay. Alright, I think that gives you a bit of an idea. Anyway. What do you mean by appropriate? I don't know, man. I'm trying to figure out which one would be stream friendly. So that you guys can see it better, not because I would get banned if I post this specific image. I mean, it is a pretty crazy image. Ew, I just saw AI art. Okay, I think the wheels are falling off in this stream. Let me go back to this. Ah, yes. Why did they make it pink like it's a romantic story that we have never heard before? Thank you, Jan Sazabikin 294 for becoming a member. He actually became a member on 5:28 a.m. I don't know why it shows up here, but thank you for joining my membership if you're still here. I mean, it's working. Look at it. I mean, it's working. The Dahlia's Riz is really insane. Oh, it's not playing. Hold on. I muted it. Does this download the Okay, let me Oh, this just changes the language. Turn off the music. Okay. Back to the Riz Lord. Y'all see the lookalike released in WoWa released today? Who? Who is that? I don't remember a new WoWa character showing up. You mean the one that looks like Serval? Or something? Or the one that looks like Rem from Zero? Pink Girl WoWa trailer? Who is that? I mean, I assume it looks like Cyrene, so I guess I don't need to look that far. I wish I could have this as a wallpaper, not gonna lie. The Dahlia is a support character who can deal super break damage to enemies even before they are broken, which is a complete antithesis to the name. At least with DOT, it's like DOT is damage over time. It doesn't have to be the enemy's turn, it just has to be over time, which is a pretty broad definition. Super break is very specific. You want to do damage while the enemies are broken in some way, but now you do break damage even if break is not involved whatsoever. That's you know, classic Hoyo design, right? Have a rule and then just break it later on. Actually, I should search that up in Google. Wait. Cyrene Uwa. I'm probably gonna get the result that I want. Oh yeah, there it is. You think so too, right? Well, her eyes are different. Her eyes are pretty different. But damn, that is uncanny. Wow, that's actually just... That is uncanny. I think she looks more like a Blue Archive character. I forgot her name. I think someone in one of the servers that I'm in compared her to some Blue Archive character, but I don't remember her name. Because it's the same eyes and same hair color. Bruh. Am I gonna see NSFW if I go further? Okay, no, I'm not. Good. I should probably stop scrolling Google without, like, protection. It's gonna be a romantic story like we just saw 2 patches ago. Well, 2 weeks ago. You think so too, right? Okay. I'm really surprised that we're having an Aglaya rerun. Like, I was expecting Ceredra or High Sealans. I mean, the most logical would have been Dahlia Firefly, Lingsha Fugue, and then Buzel Rappa. But no, we have probably the worst combination. Ceredra and High Sealans would have made a lot more sense. Expected Evernight? I mean, Ceredra is an older character, so... And she also haven't had a rerun yet, so that was my thought there. Okay, I think we're ready to go off stream now. So, I'm disappointed, but it's not Hoyo's fault, really. I feel like they were really trying to hold back on something, and we just kind of know why. But in the context of not knowing what is going on in the real world, it kind of sounded very stunted. Like, it felt like they were trying to hide something for some reason. um because I'm sure that Hoyo was 100% prepared and just throwing a teaser to 4.x, because they always do that at these patches. And I know they were just itching to announce the anime, but I guess they just don't want to do it yet. And it's not really their fault. Like, I blame Hoyo for a lot of things and I complain a lot about what they do, but this is not their fault on this instance. it would be really interesting what happens next, because if they didn't prepare anything and this wasn't like supposed to be a teaser patch, then that means we have 3.9. And what the fuck are they gonna do with 3.9? What are they gonna do? Go back to the Shienzo? I mean, sure, but I don't know, man. I would love for it to be a Nova Flare of the Shenzo characters. Oh yeah, we're not getting Nova Flare of Firefly, by the way. At least not soon. Okay, Firefly, nothing. Firefly Nova Flare does not exist. The teaser for 4.x doesn't exist. We're delayed by 3 weeks. I mean, 2 weeks, I mean. Okay. We are probably in the worst timeline possible for this patch. Yeah. Just the worst result would have been nothing, and it was nothing. At least Sparkle is on this story patch, but I assume that's because they couldn't get rid of her. You literally cannot get rid of Sparkle, it's impossible. He's too pivotal to the plot. You can't racism her out of the game. You can ignore Rappa existing at all, it's pretty easy, but you can't ignore Sparkle. This patch better have 200 pulls. Yeah, they're extending the event. They're extending the patch to give you more events that give Jades. So we're gonna get more Primos than usual. I mean, Jades more than usual. So if you're looking for a Cerebra rerun, you can pull for Finon right now, and you probably have enough funds to get Cerebra on the rerun next patch. Hmm. Speaking of, I want to give you guys an update because some of you are not in my Discord server. Um, so, um, from Waveman. From Waveman. And then this. Okay. So, I was pulling for Yahoda, right? Because I really like her character in the story. And I just wanted one copy of Yahoda. I really don't care for T6 or, I just think having an Animo non-cry character is gonna be somewhat useful even if she's in C6. Well, yeah. So, this happened, and then I triggered capturing radiance. So I technically won a 50-50 twice. And then I thought, okay, maybe if I go to Venti's banner, I'll have Venti some. Well, no. If I go to Venti's banner, at least if I get a 5-star, it's not gonna be Durin anymore, and it's a new character. And, well, it didn't take long for me to shut the fuck up and stop pulling for Yahoda. So I am not going to. I think my dreams of pulling Yahoda has died. Because this is bad karma. Once Sandrone is released, it's gonna be a bloodbath. I ran out of a year's worth of luck at this banner. I'm not gonna pull anymore. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Yahoda truthers. I'm not pulling. No, I don't have Yahoda. The one character that I wanted from this. At least my Emily is a fucking a beast now. Because in every team that I want to use Emily on, Durin is always the best character. And he's just a really good character with Emily, so... You know, at least I lost to a character that's good with my favorite character. So, you know, it can't be that bad, right? That's like losing... That's like trying to get copies of a Yansan and Mabuika's your favorite character. Like, bro. Okay. So, we're gonna... I also wanted to pull for Columbina, but after that pull luck, I'm not even gonna try. I also just don't... I don't know. I love Columbina as a character, like the Rage Baiter. And I think Sandrone and Columbina are cute together. But I really don't like how basic her kit is. It feels like Nahida, but a lot less interesting because it's Hydro. I don't know. I'm not too hot on her gameplay right now. But it's Genshin. It's like, my favorite character is Emily, who's like E, swap, Q, and... You know, it's not that big of an issue, but... It's definitely not something that I wanted to have as much as I used to. Oh, and I think Sandrone might be an interesting character to play because if she's Geo, how the fuck is she gonna be meta? Like, at least with Arlecchino, she's Pyro, so there's only really one thing she could have been, a busted Pyro carry. But how do you make a busted Geo carry in 2025? To be fair, the Geo horse that just got leaked is busted too, but like... I think they're gonna try and pull out the stops for Columbina, Sandrone's design. A kit design, I mean. I mean, she could also be like a Chiori type character, you know, just to flex sub DPS. In which case, I think she would be really cool because I love sub DPS swap things and... Anyway, I'm gonna be ending the stream now. We're nearing 3 hours, and I'll be making videos for the upcoming days, and I will try my best to find content to make while we have an 8-week patch. It's gonna be difficult to figure out some interesting video ideas that doesn't involve just me shitting on someone and starting unnecessary drama. Maybe I should do that with Bag. Maybe I should orchestrate some drama with Bag where we just pretend to hate each other and then both of us get subscribers and then both of us make up and kiss on stream and then we both benefit off our exchange of words and then our chat is gonna be happy that we made up and then both of our fan bases get more stronger and become united. That would be fun. Well, that feels like a lot of work. But the end result would be very funny. Might not work if you say it now here. Well, it's a good thing that I'm not gonna do it actually. I'm just suggesting an idea. Maybe I would do that with Guoba, right? Maybe I invite Guoba on stream and then I pretend to just hate him. And then he starts hating me. And then both of our fan bases get into a war. But of course mine is smaller. So then Guoba says like, you know, this isn't worth it. Both of us are nice. We are both nice people. You know, we tell each other that we're both nice people. And just disagree on something, and then we kiss live on stream, and then, you know, I get exposure that way. That has happened in the HSR community. I don't think you guys realize how much pro wrestling is going on behind the scenes. It's all just pretending that you hate each other and then harmlessly resolving it and then pretending like you have a history of hating someone even though you really don't. And then just starting up the drama when you have nothing else to do. Like there's a lot of pro wrestlingification going on in content creation that I really don't like, which is why I don't do it. But yeah, just if there comes a drama where you think people are way too, let's say, they say, okay, the best indication of something like this is if a content creator says something really nasty that you can't walk back out of, and then all of a sudden they say sorry, and for some reason the person still accepts the apology even though it was a nasty thing to say, then there's a good chance that was a pretend feud, right? It was a good chance that it was just a work all along. I don't know, this is like, I really hate that I know all this stuff. I'm not gonna say any specific incidents because fuck. Whatever, man. But yeah, just I wish that it wasn't such a viable revenue stream for you to just orchestrate chaos that isn't actually happening. But that's human history in a nutshell. Either way, I wish that I don't know. People aren't gonna change. It's like people come to YouTube to watch people throw shit on each other and, you know, just entertaining themselves with people hurting each other. And you know what? Fair enough. We're all stupid. Wave, are you a JoJo fan? No. I actually think JoJo is JJK, but got the COVID buff. Does that make any sense? It feels like JoJo is ruined to me by the Western fan base. Because it was the most obnoxious fan base that I've ever been to, because they would say everything as a JoJo reference. And it got so annoying that I just stopped interacting with them. Because I don't want to stay miserable, I might as well just cut you off. But JJK fans are legitimately lobotomized. I'm kidding, but I don't know what it is about JJK fans. They give me JoJo fan vibes, and I don't like it. There's a couple of cool people that I met through JJK anime server stuff, so, you know, it's not like all of them are lobotomized. It's just there's this trend with consuming media lately that involves, we don't want substance, all we want is hype moments and aura, and I don't know. I don't know. I feel like, you know what? I should stop digging myself into a hole and trying to get into a controversy. I just don't like JJK, and I don't like JoJo either. I used to like it, but watching it now is like a miserable experience for some reason. That's why I don't interact with that media anymore. But anyway, it's actually almost 3 hours now, so I'm gonna be going. See you later. Bye bye.